All right, and we're live. Welcome back to another episode of Pitch Picks. Today, we're going to be going over the Euros. But before we get into that, let's talk about our own guys for a little bit. Big night for the USA. They drew Brazil. You were telling me earlier, I think we've played them 100 times at the dot. Lost 98, won once, tied once. But they also got fucking mollywopped by Colombia 5-1. What do you make of this USA team?
It seems like a bunch of pieces that don't quite fit together, at least with Greg Berhalter running the show. So I'm always optimistic because they keep telling us the golden generation. We got every guy in our top 11 plays in one of the big 5 leagues in Europe. And then you go for this tune-up against Colombia and get absolutely smoked. So now my expectations for Copa are kind of down the drain. I'm starting to get worried about hosting in 2026. Like, this is like the last great American sports story. Can we be a soccer power? And it just feels like even with all these great guys, we just don't have the right mix.
Zosh shaking his head.
I think actually that result against Brazil does some positive for you guys because the environment that you were in, let's call it what it was. That was a home game for Brazil.
It always is. No matter who we play, it's always a home game unless they do it in like Columbus, Ohio.
And that's the shit that pisses me off about Americans is that I don't know where this notion came from. No one's proud to be an American when it comes to this sport in particular. It's like, oh, I'm Italian. Like, I'm Italian, but if the USA ever played fucking Italy in the World Cup, I'd be bleeding red, white, and blue. Like, it's always fucking America first.
Yeah.
And they're, well, my great-great-grandfather's from fucking bumfuck Colombia. Like, nah, fuck off. You were born here. You were raised here. You pay taxes, motherfucker. You root for the USA. That pisses me off. And then that's why it's always a home game. Oh, we're from Colombia. No, you're not, bitch. You were fucking born
If you love Colombia so much, why didn't you stay there?
Exactly. There's a reason why you're fucking in this country.
Yeah.
Smell
root
that?
for the fucking
You
country.
smell that? That's a smell of freedom.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Zosh.
No, but the U.S. should have won that game. That confidence. They should have won that game in the first half. It should have been like 3-4-0 just in the first half. So,
They had some great moments.
yeah, does wonders for them. Matt Turner made some good saves.
My boy.
His
I can't
kicking
believe he's
was
still
terrible.
kicking.
And kicking is terrible. I got heat, by the way. For my take on the goal. Allison, people were saying it's the wall. Bro, that's on Allison. That's on Allison's side, the side that Allison was on. And because they had seen the one angle that they released for the TV. But, yeah, no.
Kind of deceptive. Great strike by Pulisic.
Yeah, it was a good strike, but
he was sensational in that game.
Yeah.
Like, he's a legit.
Captain America.
Yeah, he's our first, like, true, legit international level star. And it feels great. And he had a big year for Milan. Like, he's rolling. They just need the guys around him to chip in a little bit more.
It's a big 2 years for the U.S.
The
US
biggest ever.
soccer, man.
Yeah.
The Copa America here, then the World Cup, man. I just hope this Copa run goes well, just to give the country confidence. You need that confidence. You need that buzz around. For the World Cup.
It feels like they just can't. They still can't figure out their best 11. They still can't figure out their right formation. Like, who's the striker? You know, they still have never been able to sort that out. It's between 3 guys. Balogun was supposed to be this guy who put us over the top. He's been in terrible form. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, my hopes have been kind of dashed. They played much better against Brazil, obviously, but Brazil, I mean, I think it was the second highest amount of saves ever by an American keeper. So other than that, Tim Howard against Belgium in the World Cup, I think that was 16. So it's just, I don't know. You needed a great performance out of the goalkeeper to make it a 1-1 draw. So it's
Brazil.
I know, but
That's
they
a
also
huge result for the U.S.
They also looked a little disinterested at times too.
But I mean, it's still the guys playing.
Yeah, for sure. That was.
US.
And
I mean,
I saw it was tied up. I was like, damn. Did Brazil even play their starters? I pulled us.
Oh yeah,
they had the
got
boys out
everybody.
there.
Yeah,
Rodrigo,
they definitely did.
Yeah.
They definitely did. So
everyone was playing.
we have guys that can compete. I just feel like they're not put in the right positions.
What would you consider a successful Copa America for the States?
I think it's got to be a semifinal run like that. If you look at that, at the teams in it, you have the big ones: Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina, obviously. And then it's like United States should probably be right there. They're definitely the best team in CONCACAF. So Mexico, I think Costa Rica's in it as well. Like United States, they should get out of that group, and they got to win a knockout game to make it a success.
What about a successful World Cup for the boys in stripes?
So the deepest they've ever gone is a round of 8, a quarterfinal.
Yep.
I think you're on home soil. This is your golden generation. I think it's a semifinal for that too.
Wow.
If you want to get to the next level,
above all expectations.
and you keep Yeah, but like, what's a super successful run? I think that's a super successful run, and they have more guys coming that should be ready for in 2 years that are not quite. They're knocking on the door now. They're not quite ready. So we'll see. They gotta figure out the best midfield combination. They gotta figure out striker. Not having Serginho Dest in there at right back kind of makes things a little bit more difficult.
Because that was supposed to be huge for us.
Hey, he's a great player. So but he's injured. So it's just I don't know. I'm lacking enthusiasm heading into the summer.
What do you think, Zach?
All right, a realist take, not the Homer take out of there. Copa America, I'll be honest with you, they're gonna struggle to get out the group. The game against Panama, so Uruguay is gonna get out of their group as winners. This is my prediction. Then their game against Panama, I think the U.S. can beat Bolivia. The game against Panama is going to be key. It's going to be huge, and I need them to win that game to get out of the group. Americans love knockout stuff. They love the playoffs. You guys love that win or go home stuff kind of thing. And this when you get into the knockout rounds is what emulates more of the American culture thing. So need that. If that happens, that sets up for a wonderful World Cup atmosphere. World Cup wise, I mean, the groups ain't out. I'll tell you this for free, my friend Nicky Smokes. They ain't getting out of the groups at the World Cup. I'll shoot you straight.
Whoa! They just got out of the group last time. It should be a stronger team.
Last time was last time.
but the field is expanded, so you're going to have the United States should be stronger.
Watered down.
And the group play will be watered down, and you're going to have a situation kind of like this Euros, which we'll get into, where you're going to have some groups will have 3 out of 4 teams going through to the next round. So they should get out. They should get out of the group.
Well, I guess we'll see.
If we hosted and didn't make it out of the group.
If they don't get out of the group in Copa America, not all is lost. That has to be the final nail in the coffin for Greg Berhalter.
Yeah.
And it does. They need to have a premier international level coach. They've never really had that. They tried Jurgen Klinsmann coming over.
No, I'm against that bullshit. I want my manager from the fucking States. I hate when teams outsource. That's bullshit. I don't know why they're allowed to do that. That's fucking bullshit.
A lot of teams do it, and then I agree with you, but we had a guy that would have been a nice candidate, Jesse Marsh, who was a Premier League manager for Leeds, and then the United States is putzing around. He was available, kind of waiting for the job. They give it back to Greg. He goes, fuck you guys, I'm taking the Canada job. So it was right there for him. That would have been an upgrade over Berhalter, and they just chose to stick with what they know for whatever reason.
Maybe I'll sing a different tune.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If you don't get out of the group, you better be singing a different tune.
Yep. All right, well, let's talk about our friends from across the pond. I have a question for you, Za. I know you live there. Why do they always say it's coming home? It's never been home. This country doesn't win anything. I would have thought they had 5 World Cups, 6 Euros. Looked it up today. They haven't fucking won since the fucking World War II, bro. These guys don't win. Like, why are they always the favorites? Why are they saying it's coming home? It's not their home. Like, home is in fucking, for the Euros, I don't know who has the most Euros, but that'd be like the World Cup. That home is Brazil, Argentina. That shit ain't in fucking England, bro. They don't fucking win. Why are they always the favorites?
No one twerks harder than the United Kingdom to no avail. It's crazy. Every single one of these tournaments, they go in as favorites. The British media gets into their head and convinces these guys that there's nothing else that exists on anywhere else but that island they call the United Kingdom. So anyone that plays there and plays for them is the best player in each and every position. If you ask an Englishman right now, they will tell you we have the best right back, center back, left back, midfielder, striker, all that nonsense. But it's never been and it's never worked. So I don't understand. Just as confused as you are, I am too. I don't know why the hell they always think that it's coming home. It ain't coming home.
Counterpoint, the reason that they think they have all the best players, because they kind of do. Okay, Harry Kane was the best player in Germany as a striker, arguably still the best striker in the world. You have Jude Bellingham, Ballon d'Or, one of the best midfielders in the world. Phil Foden, best player in the Premier League last year. They're all going to be in the line. So it's hard to look at these star guys who win in every country and perform and then be like, well, they're not the favorites. I understand why the hype is there, but it's the same thing in every generation. The last one was Beckham and Gerrard and Lampard and all these guys, and Paul Scholes. It just Rooney. They have like all these guys, and then they get them together in a team, and it falls apart. And I think we're going to see the same thing because they're trying to cram like square pegs and round holes to get all the stars on the field at the same time when they shouldn't really be doing that. play the most competitive team that gives you a chance to win. England is always just like, well, we have to have Palmer and Saka and Foden and all these guys. There's just not enough. There's only one ball. There's not enough spots for all those guys. So you have to pick guys who play their spots naturally.
And that is the trap that they fall into every single time. They look at the names. The international game is a completely different game. You mentioned Bellingham. You mentioned Harry Kane. You mentioned Saka. You mentioned Foden. You know who the dons for England in international football are? Of course, Saka is there. Saka's one of them. People like Harry Maguire. People like Calvin Phillips. Those are the guys that run the international scene. And people keep getting caught up with these star guys. And that's the sauce that the England guys fall into.
And you have to be able.
Guys work at the clubs.
So what you're saying,
you have to be able to defend. You have to be able to defend.
So it's a different type of game.
Yeah.
So like in American terms, when the NBA is completely different than when we play in the Olympics.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's like different. Okay, I got you. So the guys that are balling in the Premier League don't necessarily translate well to international. Boom. And they get caught up on the NBA stats.
It's a different manager. It's a different system. And unfortunately for England, they have a terrible manager who runs a terrible system. So that's already a haram football off the bat without you even doing nothing right there. So,
I love the word haram. I want to mix it in more. That's fucking haram.
Yeah, no, I mean it ain't coming home.
Yeah.
Southgate's an idiot. He's gonna try to do all that nonsense that you were saying, try to fit in guys, and
So if you were the manager, who would you roll out there? I don't need the full 11, but like, what are some key guys that you see on the bench that you would have in your starting 11?
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Saka's first name. So for England, Saka's first name.
No
on the
bias
list.
there at all.
Saka's first name on the list. Harry Maguire is a huge miss. So I'm just gonna give you pointers. I'm not gonna run through the whole 11. Saka's big for England. Harry Maguire, huge miss. He is huge for England. No matter how he's playing at Man United, the guy shows up once he wears that England shirt. So he's going to be a huge miss, I think. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a problem. Southgate loves him. He's going to try fit him in. Walker's the right back. He's going to move him into midfield. That's an issue. He's not a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
He'll ping a nice pass here and there, but get an actual competent midfielder to play against him. Yeah, you can run circles around the guy. So those are my three main things that they're going to miss Maguire a lot. Trent is going to be the Achilles heel. And, of course, Saka's the first name on the list.
What about you, Chief?
I think we were arguing before we went on camera. I think Conor Gallagher they should do a 4-2, 3-1, put Bellingham up further as almost like a 10 like he does for Madrid. He probably plays their manager was like the closer he is to the goal, the better it is for us. Let these guys do what they do best. And then we saw it in the World Cup against the United States, whereas Musa, Adams, and McKennie, they ran the midfield against England. Like, they were very good, and it's not like those names are not as good as what England rolls out there. I think they need more defensive presence, a guy who put a foot in. Give me Rice next to Conor Gallagher, two kind of sitters who will get forward too. Bellingham between them, and then pick your informed guy of Palmer, Saka, Foden for the wings, Harry Kane up top. That to me gives you the best chance of winning and playing this international, playing a true team game. Play it as if it was the Premier League. If you had all these guys, some of them would be sitting out. Like you see that with Manchester City. They're not just being like, well, we have to get Grealish and Doku in the game at the same time. Like you don't operate that way. So let guys play their more natural positions. Don't try to force Trent into the midfield when he doesn't play there. Play your guys that give you the best chance to win, even if they're not necessarily the most talented guys on the team.
Okay. So do you think England, as of right now, on how they're set up, is it possible that they're the biggest disappointment in this tournament?
Yeah, because I think it's win or bust, and I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean the odds makers have them as favorite. They tied tournament favorites,
co-favorites
with France. So yeah, anything that's not a win, and if you ask their fans are convinced that it's already done. So anything that's not a win is a massive disappointment for England. And I'll tell you what, I think it might end at the first knockout round for England.
Wow. That country would burn to the ground if they lost in the first
I wonder if they're just used to it now.
I don't know, dude, because they were in the finals last year.
They were.
My boys smacked them up in the PKs.
Yeah.
That's when Saka, Rashford, and Sancho were actually victimized. But we move on. We move.
Yeah.
They're a lot nicer to them than David Beckham, though.
Oh no. Oh.
Probably.
Yeah.
Beckham red
That's
card.
different.
Bullied.
Times are different. Those are
Yeah.
different times, and there were three of them. Beckham was on top of the world at the time. Man.
Yeah.
That was when he was Spice Boy. He was
Spice
dating
Boy.
Still is.
Victoria.
To this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Victoria Adams at that time was probably one of the most, if not the most powerful people in entertainment.
Yeah.
So and Beckham was the.
They were the hot couple.
So it's the Beckham thing was a different level, but it's the same kind of temperature.
Yeah.
I was never a big soccer guy, but I remember that I would play FIFA and I would use the LA Galaxy just for David Beckham.
Yeah.
And I thought they were the best team in the world. But
He was
little
nasty.
did I know there was teams in England and shit. But anyway, who's your biggest dark horse in the Euros this year, Chief?
To win it or to
To win,
to
make a nice run, like a dark horse. Like when,
Yeah.
when we talk March Madness, you know, this team's a dark horse. Do I think they're going to win? Probably not, but
Yeah.
they could make a fucking run.
I'm intrigued to see what Scotland does. They've never made it out of the group stage of any competition ever. They have some nice players. They beat Spain 2-0 in qualifying. They seem to have some pieces that are interesting. They might finish third and still go through with the expanded format this year. And I like Hungary in that Group A as well. I think Hungary is going to be a problem. As far as a dark horse winner, I mean, I think Italy is still technically a dark horse. They're plus
1,600.
1,600. So I could see them being repeat champs.
What about you, Zal?
Dark horse for me, Serbia. I think Serbia is going to cause some problems. The
Mm.
two strikers, Mitrovic and Vlahovic, who
Yeah.
I think Vlahovic is unbelievable. Hopefully, but he fucked us over, so we move on with the whole Vlahovic thing. So I think they might cause some problems, Serbia. And then winning-wise, they're plus 1,600 too. It's a good squad. I think Belgium might make some noise, man. Trossard and Lukaku might actually dominate. You got Trossard, Lukaku, and the gritty, man. Gritty on your grave. Doku over there. That's a powerful
Does
attack.
Lukaku have anything left?
International
Yeah.
football, he
Yeah.
is different.
All right.
He is different when it comes to international football.
Okay.
My dark horse is Ukraine. I didn't think they'd last this long with Russia. Who's to say they won't make a deep run in the Euros?
You got that fighting spirit.
They got that fighting spirit. I'll take Ukraine as
Park
my
the
dark
bus.
horse.
Yeah.
But a dark horse team.
Fighting spirit, fucking.
They're still out there.
They don't
bro.
roll over. They don't roll over.
Ever heard of your guy Zinchenko? He actually, you know what? We'll leave that one alone.
Biden's probably going to try to send them Pulisic for this tournament. Just give him all our weapons.
And then a dark horse I think that could actually win. I bet this team every year is the Netherlands. I don't know if it's just because I love their jerseys.
I love them too.
I love Frankie de Jong. You were just telling me he's hurt though, but I think they have a really strong back line over there. They could score goals. I'll take Netherlands to win at plus 1,600.
They got that nice mix of like veteran guys and then like young and up and coming
Right.
talent. So they're always like
They're always there.
dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'll take Italy just because the family.
Yeah. La Familia.
Plus 1,600. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Can I,
Look at that.
before you move on, can I mention just on the most disappointing, we touched on England.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention another team that everybody's hyping up a lot. People think that Spain might win the tournament. They think that they're going to go far. I don't think so. I think they're going to be disappointing. Young team, you need experience in these tournaments. And Spain, they're rolling out 16, 17-year-olds and all that. They're talented players, but you need experience.
They're like a tournament away.
You know who I think's flying under the radar is World War II losers, Germany.
The host nation.
They have a squad.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz.
I got him.
I'm taking Kai Havertz leading goal scorer. Samina mina waha waka waka hey hey 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. That's my favorite chant. I got to take him to be the top goal scorer.
as much as I love him and I'm rooting him on for that. I want that to happen. If I'm going top goal scorer, I think that it's written in the stars. Storybook ending. Cristiano Ronaldo, his final Euros, is the top goal scorer. He calls it a day with Portugal. I don't know if he's going to make it to the World Cup. That's 2 more years. The guy is old, but
Yeah.
this
He's
might
a
be
physical
the final
freak,
tournament.
though.
Cristiano Ronaldo, top goal scorer for me.
Okay.
All right. I like that. I kind of like Portugal throwing something on them to win, too.
Mm.
They're a deep team. I saw Jose Mourinho said if Portugal fielded a B team, that they would be contenders, too. Like, they're deep as fuck.
Correct me if I'm wrong though. Wasn't Ronaldo just benched in like the last Euros or the last World Cup? That just
Yeah,
happened?
there was some
He got
controversy.
hurt.
Yeah, there was
He got hurt.
controversy about how much he was playing, and then
Well, that was the World Cup though. Right?
Yeah, it was.
That's when
When
Yeah.
he was
won.
coaching, what you're thinking when he was coaching on the bench and all that, I think he got
Well,
hurt.
no, he was starting, and then they benched him, and they won,
yeah,
and then he just stopped playing. I think
Yeah.
he was playing like 20 minutes a game or something.
yeah. But he's still like, he's still the face of Portugal.
Still bangs
Yeah,
him
of
in.
course.
Yeah, he would almost be like a perfect super sub. Like imagine you're dog tired, late stages, and then here comes CR7 off the bench. Like that's a problem.
That is a problem. Problem I don't want to have.
Yep.
But all right. So last thing, we'll close with this. Give me your favorite bet for the Euros.
All right, I'll tell you my favorite bet. I don't have the odds right now, but I love this formula where you could pick the 2 teams to go through. So I like Group A. I think Hungary's going through. I think they're finishing second.
Hungary's hungry.
Hungary's hungry, and then I like the host nation. I think if you get that combo, I think it's plus 700. I'll make sure, but picking the 2 group winners, you get better odds than you would have just like picking one team. So picking both teams to go through, I like Germany and Hungary.
Za?
I'm in love with the Portuguese, man. I have one bet placed so far, and that's a future. Actually, 2 bets. I've got a future on Netherlands as my dark horse at plus 1,600. But I think the Portuguese are going to win this tournament. Their team is so deep, full of quality. The whole Ronaldo angle about it being potentially his last tournament. I think everybody's going to play their hearts out. And if you just look at that squad, man, it's just quality players, proper players. So Portugal to win the tournament. I was trying to sneak the odds, but yeah, the odds for that are the Portuguese are plus 700 to win the tournament.
All right. And then my favorite bet is going to be Netherlands to make the quarterfinals at plus 100. So I have them to make the quarterfinal. You have Portugal to win it. And yours was the 2 groups winners, Hungary and Germany.
Well, they're in the same group, so both to go through, that's plus 300.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, the Euros start tomorrow. This will be up Friday, 10 a.m. That's going to be our release time every single week. So if you guys are ever wondering when we're going live, it's Friday at 10. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.